Good morning, grade 6. Welcome to our lesson today. My name is Teacher Eric, and we shall pick from where we left last time, political system in the Horn of Africa. And under that, the subtopic, we are looking at the spread of Islam in the Horn of Africa. The spread of Islam in the Horn of Africa. Now, majority of the people in the Horn of Africa are Muslims, more so in Somaliland, Somalia, many countries actually. So how did it come? How did it start? It is important that we should also learn about its history. Now, the introduction of Islam in Somaliland or in the Horn of Africa as a whole started at the coastal towns of the Horn of Africa. Islam was introduced peacefully. Now, traders from the Arabian Peninsula arrived at the coast. Arabian Peninsula means Arabian countries, the Arabs. They arrived at the coast. And what is coast? Coast is actually a word used to describe the land which is close to the ocean or sea. Now, when you go to Berbera, for example, land which is next to the Gulf of Aden, that is what you call the coast. So along the Horn of Africa, the coastal land is land which is next to the Indian Ocean, to the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea. So trade was the main activity when the Arab traders came to the coast of Somaliland. Africans at the coast exchanged goods. They also exchanged ideas and way of living. The culture, the language, and the food. And at the exchange, the coastal people also learned from the Arab traders. Arabs learned the local language, but the people of the Horn of Africa also learned the Arab things, how to behave like Arabs, how to behave like Arabs in terms of language, way of dressing also. They learned the culture from Arabs, that is how to cook, to eat Arab foods, and dress and speak like Arabs. You get it? And now that means Arabs had now become their friends. They had invited them. They had become their friends. When you invite a friend, it means you can learn something from them. You give them something and also give you something, exchanging ideas and goods. With time, the Islamic principles were introduced at the coast. They also learned Islam. Tribal chiefs, the chiefs of the clans, and the local leaders were the first to accept Islam. They accepted Islam peacefully. And when your leaders at home accept, for example, parents at home, whenever they accept something, that means the whole family has accepted it. When they say something, it means that thing is for the whole family. So the leaders accepted Islam and everybody now had to accept. The local coastal towns of Zeila, Berbera, Mogadishu, and Marka were the major Islamic centers. And you can see it's actually true that Islam started at the coast, because all these coastal towns, that the old towns at the coast of the Horn of Africa, people who used to live there accepted Islam first because their leaders had encouraged them. Their leaders had accepted it, and they had shared with the people how it is and how good the religion is. So the people also accepted. They saw very nice things and how good, how well the Arabs used to live in terms of their culture and language and religion, and they admired it and they accepted it peacefully. Later, traders who took their goods on camels, remember, from the coastal towns, traders used to take their goods from the coastal towns towards the interior of the land. So traders who used to take their goods on camel caravans helped to spread the new religion to the hinterland. Caravan is just, but those journeys made on camels mostly used to make journeys in straight line. And as you can see in the illustration below, this is a caravan, camel caravan. Camel making that journey, people making journey on camels. They could spread religion to the hinterland. What is hinterland? Hinterland is actually a name that given to land which is away from the coastal. And so hinterland means areas of a country away from the coastal towns. Like Hargeisa is hinterland. It means it's away from the coast. It is hinterland. So hinterland is actually land or area which is away from the coast. Many natives who were pagans immediately accepted Islam. They converted, they joined Islam. As the Muslim community grew, people used to join, very few people, many people now, and now the whole population had joined. So Muslim community grew big, and as it grew in the coastal areas, those who had learned the Islamic principles, how to read the Holy Quran, they later became sheikhs, and they were in charge. They were the head of the people. They could teach people how to learn and follow the teachings of Islam. The sheikhs used to teach people how to read Islam, how to live according to the Islamic principles. So they were very important, as they are still today. You go anywhere around here, sheikhs and imams are well respected. They lead people, they solve conflicts, they teach people to live according to the Islam teachings. So they are very important. Now, just to try and go through again what we have learned today is that Islam in the Horn of Africa was introduced peacefully. People were not forced. It was introduced peacefully. First of all, it's when the traders came to the Horn of Africa, they exchanged ideas. They came together with the people around and they could exchange ideas. The people around learned language, Arabic language. They learned the way of living of the people, of the Arab people. And that is how Islam was introduced. First, the chiefs and and actually the village elders were taught religion, then they accepted it. Later, they went and preached to the people, talked to the people, and finally the people accepted it. Later on, Islam was now spread all over to other regions through trade. When people used to move with their goods from place to place, they learned, they came across people who had learned the new religion and they accepted it. After these notes, there are some few questions that you are going to actually attempt. 5 questions. Number 1, how was Islam introduced in the Horn of Africa? Was it through war or peacefully, or how? You're going to write the answer. What is the meaning of hinterland? What does the word coast mean? When the Arab traders came, the people of the Horn of Africa were ruled by, were they ruled by president, king? Were they ruled by chiefs? You're going to write the answer. List any 2 major Islamic centers at the coast. You're going to write them. So with that, I wish to end our lesson by wishing you well, that you may have a nice day and be safe wherever you are. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Good